Let's take a moment to analyze something at a deeper level. So, for those of us who have gone through so many challenges, right? So many obstacles, so many different things that would destroy anyone, per se, right? We've gone and experienced the unthinkable. Yet we're still here, right? We're still showing up. We're still here. We're still moving forward, right? And even if that, whatever that may look like for each individual, moving forward looks completely different for each individual depending on where they're at in life. For some, moving forward would be just keeping the promises that they made to themselves. For others would be creating goals once in their lifetime, right? And for others would be gaining material things, right, into their existence. Okay? And so it looks different for each individual. Now, I wanted to present a different point of view to things when it comes to experiencing certain things in our life, certain misfortunes per se, right? And although we look at the blessings, we look at the lessons from everything, there are some things that are just horrific, right? And we wonder why we went through these things or why we experienced these things and what was the purpose of that all, right? And so at this moment when we are exploring that concept, one thing that helps is to ask ourselves, why did we choose these people? Right? Why did we choose these experiences? And so to do this, we have to look at things from a soul level, at a soul's level, from a higher perspective, right? With a higher consciousness, understanding that we planned out some of the experiences that we were to have, that we planned out to have certain soul contracts with certain individuals to gain certain knowledges, right? And some soul contracts were just made so that we can be basically triggered, so that with the purpose of our souls to expand, right? Or for us to be heard. The same way that we have soul contracts with individuals where, we have the soulmates, where sometimes it's friendships, sometimes it's lovers, right? And then we have karmic contracts with people who are supposed to just come into our life and hurt us and betrayed us and abandon us and reject us, right? These, when we look at it with this perception, right, at this perspective, we kind of see things with a lighter view. And so one of the things that I do is ask, and I'm still doing this, I'm actively doing this, that's why I'm speaking on it, is I ask myself, why did I choose these people, right? And so when it comes to me, my background is very rough, right? It's very rough. I look nothing like what I've gone through. And so the people that I've interacted with in my life, the people who have hurt me the most, the people who have had an impact in my life the most, have been degenerates. Right? So when I say it had an impact on me the most, I mean the ones that I had to heal from, right? Not the ones, like, there's also the ones that have taught me, the ones that have built me up to be the person that I am today in different stages in my life, right? So with those, I had soul contracts as well, right? But I'm speaking on the ones that we stay stuck on, right? So the ones that, abused us at our core, right? The narcissistic, the, I want to paint the picture, but I don't want to call out people with names that are derogatory, right? Because I'm looking at why did I choose these people, right? And when I look at why did I choose these people after making a list of the titles of these people that I've given them based on their actions, right? What I've came to the conclusion was that God loved these people too, right? And so, and I love these people too, right? And some I didn't even want to leave behind because I loved them. And it was hard for me to leave them behind. And then I saw God's grace and favor in their life, right? Even by putting me in there as well, right? And so God loved them too. And so sometimes I battle with that because I look at it and I see God's favor, God's love, God's unfailing love when it comes to these individuals as well. And so I wonder, and I think about it and I'm like, why did I choose these people? And I get it for the expansion of my soul to under to overcome it, to rise above it, to have the knowledge and the experience to be able to teach others and lead others as to how to come up out of that as well. I think I just answered my own question here, right? And so I urge you guys to, if you have been through the worst, through the most, and I mean like really at the other side of like good, that other side of polarity where we see pure evil, right? Ask yourself, why did you choose these people? Remember, Earth is a school, and we have soul contracts with certain individuals, right? Nothing is by coincidence. A lot of it was planned out by you. Your soul knew what you needed, what you were supposed to experience this lifetime around, and what you were supposed to come up out of, right? So when we're looking at our world map, when it comes to our soul's evolution and the things that we've experienced, right? If we look at it from a point of view of why did I choose these individuals, then we can ask ourselves, what was I supposed to learn from here? What was I supposed to experience and then integrate into the light from that point forward? And so when we look at it from that perspective, we can come to forgiveness quicker, right? Because we're no longer attached to what happened. We're now looking at it from, what was this supposed to teach me? What was my soul supposed to experience here? And how, instead of instead of being attached to why did this happen to me, now we're looking at how do I integrate this to the light, right? And so I wanted to share that with you guys, because I practice this, and the more I practice it, the easier it is for me to move on from certain things and let go and forgive. And the most beautiful part about it is that God loved them too, right? So whether you were someone that did it or someone who experienced it, right, whichever end you're at, the message is God loves you.